against by government.
I got to ask you, Ben, have you been discriminated against?
Absolutely. But, you know, the way I kind of look at it, I guess I came from my mother. She said, Benjamin, if you walk into an auditorium full of racist, bigoted people, she said, you don't have a problem. They have a problem. Because she says, because they're all going to cringe and wonder if you're going to sit next to them, whereas you can go sit anywhere you want. But, you know, the fact of the matter is, you know, we do have to worry about treating everybody fairly. And when we look at the Constitution, it is there to make sure that all are treated fairly. But it means that everybody has equal rights. Nobody has extra rights. Extra rights, and when you get to redefine everything for everybody else and impact upon their lives. And when Alexis de Tocqueville came to America in 1831 to study this nation, because the Europeans were just fascinated. How could a fledgling nation, barely 50 years old, already be competing with them on virtually every level? And, you know, he said, let me dissect this. And he studied our government. And he was very impressed with the separation of powers and with the checks and balances, with how efficient the government was. Now, that was some time ago. But you know, the separation of the powers and the checks and balances is one of the fundamental things that makes our government work. And what has happened, particularly with the Supreme Court judgment that we're talking about, is that one of the branches, with all the people except the ones who are sitting with me here, has checked out. They're not checking and balancing against the executive branch and the legislative branch, so those are necessarily taking excesses. We should have had a law already in place to protect the religious liberty of people who believe that marriage is between one man and one woman. They should have known that that was coming. It's still not too late, but they have a responsibility to weigh in now and check the Supreme Court, because if we don't do that, they will just continue down the same road. And they are the ones who represent we, the people, the legislative branch. Somehow we have got to get them to stand up and do what they're supposed to do.
I do want to ask you, is your mom still alive?
Is my mother still alive? Yes, she is. She unfortunately has Alzheimer's, but it's probably, in a way, a blessing in disguise, because if she didn't, she'd be out there with a shotgun shooting all these liars who tell her things.